I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas. I hope you've had a great time. I wanted to start reflecting on 2024 and what 2024 has brought me in relation to my calling, my practice of Knotted Locs, and what that means for somebody like you who is searching for something that they can't put their finger on in relation to having small size locks. We all know there's Knotted Locs, and the Knotted Locs practice is great for specific personality types. The neatness, the grid, the regimented, lack of oil, water. People want the neatness, want clear gaps and exposed scalp. Wonderful. There is a group that's not considered. People like me. And so, as I practice Knotted Locs, I want you to understand it happened because I needed it to happen, because there was no one like me. And as I practice it, and I did it privately, and then I had to fess up and own and admit the fact that I was doing these practices, Knotted Locs practice, on my head and on client's head. And then the curiosity, and you guys asked me to start teaching you and showing you. And so that's what I've done. I've come to realize that it's coming towards the end of 2024, and you need to understand it is symbolic of the way we are supposed to take care of ourselves. I'm telling you, that's what I've learned from Knotted Locs. It is symbolic in terms of the way we're meant to love on and care about ourselves without the obsession of having to have fixed regime and regiment for our African texture hair in small size locks. The fact that we have small size locks that we absolutely adore and love, and we are gaining so many benefits from having our small size locks in this size. Our hair is looking amazing, fabulous, especially when we first started. The consequence of that seems to be a little bit of a punishment. You know, it's too tight, it's done too often. We're trying to control how often we do our hair so that we maintain this look. Then it starts changing, and then we start panicking. So we sit in the chair for longer, but it's still not working. And here we are now. The word hair loss is just part of our glossary and language when it comes to wearing these neat tubes. It did not work for Melissa. And so if it did not work for Melissa, it doesn't work for other people. And so on the spectrum of small size locks where Sisterlocks is neat, my work is for the other side. It's for the other side where people feel like, I want small size locks. I just don't want it to be as neat. I just don't want to have this scalp exposed. I want to have fullness, right? That is what I'm here to bring you. An example, a version of how you could live with your small size locks. And with my work, it is the knotting. And the reason why the knotting is great is because it just produces gorgeous, lovely, creative work that is satisfying and fulfilling. From the way you take care of your hair, learn to take care of your hair, the fact that it's a challenge and you then overcome the challenge in your own personal way, the fact that you're able to separate your locks yourself in a really satisfying way, and then take care of it and maintain it. Through all the challenges, you get to feel very fulfilled and very proud of yourself, and feel empowered that you're able to take care of your locks, and your locks don't necessarily have to look like anybody else's. So when you go on social media, you look around you with people with small size locks, whether they have Sisterlocks or Microlocs, regardless how they call it, whatever they call it, you don't have a fixed grid pattern. You don't have the same size. You have sizes that you can flow within, because I've taught you exactly how to respond to your hair. And if your locks need bringing down, you bring it down. And if it needs to be a lot more fuller, you'll do that with your hair. But first, you have to master, right? And understand what you're doing. And it takes time. And I think that's what I love, is the fact that you're not rushing it, and it takes time for you to create what you want to create and understand you and your hands and the way your hands work. It's a mindset shift. And as I practice this mindset, I bring it to you. I tell you, that's why it pours into changing people's lives. And the Knotted Locs practice: turn up how you want to turn up, deliver whatever you want to deliver in the way you want to deliver it, even though it's not great, because from there you learn and you take these gorgeous, lovely, loving steps. I have a lot more to share. Just wanted to let you know I am here. You are not alone. And I have had to be juggling the various different platforms, but I'm trying out a thing, and I would really like to start doing video podcasts where I give you these messages that reminds you actually are free. You're free to choose your lock style how you want it. The sizing can be small, it can be medium, as long as it's knottable. You can carry on and look after your hair without the regime of your hair being overdone. So I feel like that's the biggest issue, is the frequency of retightening. It's thinning out our hair. And then changing your mindset, or understanding that neatness you want and that regularity of getting your hair retightened is what's flattening it. It's counteracting. It's like when you overwater the plant and show it too much attention. But it's not as simple as you going, it's a mindset shift. So that's why I'm here to continually remind you that you can have a version of Small Size Locs that suits you, that supports your hair texture, doesn't counteract what you've started, so that you have a lifetime of maximum fullness, a lifetime of hydration, optimum hydration to your hair, and excellent hygiene all the time. For you to do that, you need to begin to take the power back, and begin to get a clear understanding of what you need to learn about your hair, what it wants. And the way you're doing it, that is by hands in hair, continually interacting with your hair, putting your hands and checking and interacting with your hair in small bite-sized practices. Knotted Locs is inclusive for anyone who feels their strand type or their hair type or their lock type is knottable. And I hope as you listen to this message, it is making sense to you. I don't have all of the answers, but I'm going to teach you how to get fully into the answers you need when you practice Knotted Locs. I hope this message reaches the right person who needs to hear this, because this is revolutionary. This is revolutionary. This is symbolic of how we are supposed to interact and live with our bodies even. And our hair's just the beginning. And that's why Knotted Locs is changing lives.